enthusiasts installed and overclocked the 16-core Ryzen 9 5950X to 5 GHz on the budget Asus A320M K board. If you do not go into details, then to an outsider, AMD's policy may seem not only strange, but also contrary to early promises. So, at the dawn of the AM4 socket release, Asus announced that it would be supported for 5 years. Since these 5 years expired only in 2021, all released chipsets and motherboards had to be compatible with Ryzen 5000 processors. After a long silence and discontent of enthusiasts, the Reds still released the official firmware version for the B450 series chipsets and the entire 400 series, but the fate of the 300 series is still unclear. A few days ago, an official representative of AMD tried to convey to the owners of old motherboards their vision of the problem. It turned out that the company's engineers are afraid that owners of cheap motherboards based on the A320 chipset will start taking Ryzen 9 5950X processors, which will lead to a massive failure of the boards. Where buyers of ultra-budget motherboards get the money for flagship stones is unclear, but AMD has not yet been persuaded. Nevertheless, enthusiasts have long released unofficial firmware, and several manufacturers independently, selectively, sent out a semi-official update for part of the 300 series motherboards. You need to understand that all this is not mass-produced, and also implies the rejection of support for several previous generations of processors. Moreover, the update does not occur automatically, which means that most users did not know about it at all. And yet, fans of experiments from the company Tech Epiphany decided to find out how the Ryzen 9 5950X processor will feel on an old Asus motherboard. As it turned out, the 16-core gem easily reached 5 GHz on a single core and worked stably all this time. Perhaps the problems would have become noticeable after hours of complex tests, but enthusiasts did not take this step. Note that currently only Gigabyte and Asus have released firmware that allows you to install Ryzen 5000 processors on 300 series motherboards. Curiously, the support itself is there, and in the official specifications on the site there is no information about the Asus BIOS version number 1.2.0.3c. It is quite possible that this was done at the behest of AMD, which has not yet decided whether to release an official update or not. Experts note that motherboards based on X370 chipsets can easily accept any processors. The same applies to many boards based on the B350 chipset, so such an ambiguous point of view raises a lot of questions.